You're listening to
Hot Sauce Sports with Mo Cohen, Peeze, and Terry Tam.
We are now joined with Peter Zergiotis. Peter, he joins us from Grant's Boxing. He's a trainer there.
Yeah.
What have you, being a trainer in a boxing gym is always been sort of like glamorized by movies. You know, we've seen obviously the memorable characters in Rocky and so on and so forth. How do you see that depiction versus sort of like how it exists in real life?
Well, basically, it's more insane in real life and in person and actually happening. The movies, they pretty much one movie, that $1 Million Baby, I find that they depicted it quite well with like how a boxing gym is, with the way the system, the way it's run, the atmosphere in a gym. It's a very homey place, a lot of ego, a lot of competition, but it gets pretty, especially here at the Grant Brothers Gym. Like we have a very solid, very old school mentality and philosophy in training fighters. Howard Grant is a very typical, stereotypical old school 1940s, 50s, 60s boxing trainer style, where he big time. If you know the guy, he's very legendary when he comes to stuff like that. Not soft at all. Everything comes from his heart. Everything is done with pride and passion, and that's the kind of mentality that I've taken on as a head coach on the amateur program. But learning from Howard and Otis and Jesse Thompson and a whole bunch of guys, a lot of trainers here that I learned from. That we have a lot of different types, a lot of different characters. Let's just say that everyone has their own unique brand in coaching. Here it's a very unique and very special gym. Like absolutely, and it's probably, in my opinion, many people's opinion, one of the best gyms in Canada. Yeah. The head coach, Howard Grant is probably the best in my. Let's just say, he's the best head coach, the best trainer in Canada, in my opinion, at least. And very different here. It's like a family atmosphere. Fighters get along, a lot of respect. There's no BS, no bullshit. Howard will fucking call you out no matter what. Excuse my language, boys, if I could say that.
Don't worry about it, man.
But Howard will fucking call you out right away. He'll fucking throw you out of the gym. Doesn't matter. Howard will treat a fucking bum off the street, and we'll chant the same exact way. And that's the kind of mentality that we bring here. That everyone has to, not basically earn respect, but you have our respect until you lose it. And if you want to fight, and if you're a fighter or someone, either an amateur, someone trying to learn, or a pro coming in from another country or anything, you'll get the best. You'll get the best. You should be treated the best. It's definitely a tight knit community in this gym.
What if I want to take on these three jabronis in the gym at the same time? Can we do that? Can we set that up like a hot sauce event? I beat up all three of you fucking pieces of shit.
So, but who am I paying to take my place? And how much is this going to cost me?
You pay Peter.
Peter, how much is this going to cost me
Yes,
for you to take my spot?
Pay Peter, and Peter can kick my ass, no problem.
Because I enjoy being pretty more than I enjoy fighting.
Yeah. Throwing in a towel is a very tricky business because, as a trainer, as a coach, as a cornerman, there's times where you want to throw in those towels, but fighters, with the adrenaline going and all the pride, and fighter doesn't know when to stop.
Well, we saw two fighters die this year because, because they stayed too long. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough to watch. They were so close apart, and it's tough to watch. And one of them, the coach actually stopped the fight. He's like, listen, I'm not letting you go through, and eventually he ended up passing away in the hospital.
Yeah.
But just to say, you got to be bigger than you.
It's a tough game, and like I said, fighters don't want to quit. And one thing I've learned about the fighting game, and I've been taught by like Howard and Otis about these kind of situations, is that this is like ongoing damage from previous fights, long-term careers where fighters go into these situations after fighting 200 amateur fights, 20 pro fights, and it's like, and it's built up over time. To tell you the truth, for that one, I'll pass you more to Otis because he can give you more of an actual expert opinion. Okay, so I'm going to pass Otis Grant over to you right now.
Okay, but come back on the line after. We want to talk shit. Otis, did you watch the fight this weekend?
I did watch the fight.
What'd you think of it? Because I have a lot of opinions on this.
You know what? It was a good fight. Tyson Fury won the fight. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, if that fight was somewhere else, anywhere else, probably like outside of England, they would have stopped that fight. I don't know if he won 5 or 6 of them, but the fight was close early. And then, I don't know if you saw, I think it was in the 10th round that Fury tried to get him, and then he slowed down a little bit. In the 11th round, the guy came out, man, and Otto leaned put it to him in the 11th round.
Those are those championship rounds, right?
Yeah. And for a guy in his first world title fight, going first 12-rounder, he did a pretty good job. My proudest moment as a fighter was probably going into my opponent's home country in his backyard and beating him in his hometown to win the world title. That was like, it was a process. We set up our training camp in England. We rented a house in England for like 7 or 8 weeks, and we're over there. Weeks before anybody knew we're over there. We're over there training, and that was probably as a fighter, probably one of my better memories or proudest moments. And I don't think might have been few guys since me from Canada, or even from many places that's won a world title on the road in their opponent's backyard. That doesn't happen very often. I was in training camp with Roy Jones, actually. I fought Roy my fight before the accident, and he was going to unify the titles with Reggie Johnson, and they thought enough of the performance I did with him to invite me to training camp, because Reggie Johnson was a southpaw, and they wanted some quality guys in camp, giving them some work to get ready for that fight. And then they were going to do a show at the Bell Center. It was going to be the first boxing show, the inaugural show at the new Bell Center, because it was the old forum before. And I was supposed to fight. I was supposed to do the main event against Alain Bonamy. He was a local Quebec guy here.
Yeah, of course.
And so I was away training at Roy, and I came back about the week before the fight. To fight at Bell Center to open that, be the first boxing card there. And it was on my way from a meeting up north, having to do with getting a release from my promoter to fight at home, because I hadn't fought home in many years, because I was signed an American promoter that I had the accident coming back from up north. I ended up in a coma for about, I think, 10 days or over a week, and I was in the hospital for about a month, So, and the doctor, from what I hear, they gave me my last rites. They didn't think I was going to make it. So the chaplain came in and gave me my last rites, but I'm still here, man. Right now, you know what? I like, Lomachenko is real good.
Yeah.
But I like Errol Spence.
Errol Spence is nice. See, a lot of people say Terrence Crawford or Lomachenko or even Errol Spence. Yeah.
I also like Terrence Crawford's pretty good as well. Like, I think, like, in those three guys would be like my top three. I wouldn't really pick one of them or the other to be, leading the pack. But I like Errol Spence. He's a complete fighter. He works the body. He could box. He could punch. Yeah. He has good power in both hands. So like I like him. And he also switches left to right fairly easily too.
So I got a two-part question, Otis. So we're Terry's buddies with your trainer Peter Zergiotis. We want two questions about him. One is, how is Peter as a trainer? Let's start with that one. How's Peter as a trainer?
Peter is.
You can throw him under the bus if you want.
Trainer.
All right, he's fantastic.
All right. He's fantastic. He's very enthusiastic. He has a lot of energy. Like, he's able to reach the kids, and they listen to him. And I think the gym, every gym needs a guy like Peter in there. Because he's like, go get it, and he's very enthusiastic. He encourages the guys to do well. He comes in, he works with them. So like he's doing very well. Like he's learning his stuff, and he's getting better and better every day. And actually, I even boxed with Peter on Saturday. I had a boxathon that we did for charity, and I went a round or two with him there as well. So like he's doing. And Peter's been with us actually since we're up on Brunswick Street, like since our old gym, when our first location with Grant Brothers. So Peter's been around us for a while now, and now he's in here and he's giving us a hand with the amateur program, and it's really appreciative, because like it's kind of hard to hold down some amateur coaches after a while. They come, they try, they get discouraged, they move on, but Peter is sticking with it. Saturday was for the pancreatic, Jewish General Pancreatic Cancer. We have a member, a friend of ours, whose daughter dates a young man whose mom was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and usually that's a death sentence. And like they did some experimental treatment on her or with her, and now she's, I think, 11 months later, she's cancer free.
Oh,
That's
beautiful.
amazing.
So-
That's amazing.
So she was so appreciative of these people saving her life. She wanted to do something to give back. And David, who was our buddy that boxed with us and we grew up with since we were little, asked if we could use the gym to do a boxing fundraiser in aid of pancreatic cancer. And also David's mom passed away, like, it's been quite a few years now from pancreatic cancer. So like I said, David, no problem. If you get together, we could use the gym to do a community fundraiser for the hospital. And it went very.
If Terry went to challenge Peter in the ring,
I'll fucking.
what's the scouting report, Otis? Like, what does Terry target? How does Terry take him down?
Yeah, like what's Pete's weak spot? You got to tell me so when I fight him, I can win.
Hey man, I boxed a round or two with Peter on Saturday, and I couldn't find a weak spot.
You got no chance,
Fuck,
Terry.
I'm done.
If the champ he can't find a weakness, there is no
Good luck,
weakness.
Terry. Good luck. Good luck, Terry.
I'm done.
Otis,
Hey, by the way, you know what? We have an amateur boxing show coming up on October 5th. Peter is going to be like one of my head amateur trainers in here. So if you guys want to come out to that or give us a little bit of publicity or coverage
course,
on that'd be
We'll do everything we
appreciated.
can. Yeah, we'll come by.
absolutely, that sounds great.
All right.
Otis, thank you so
All
much
right.
for your time, and we know you're very, very busy. We're just going to close out with Peter. Thank you so much for your time. This has been, honestly, it's been a great moment for us.
Dream.
For us as fans. It's absolutely a dream. Thanks for talking to us.
All right, man. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, Otis. You too. October 5th, me and you in the ring or what?
You know what, Terry? I'll be busy that night, but you know what? I guess I can make some time to punch you in the face a couple of times. That event is Saturday, October 5th at the Grant Brothers Gym. It's our first amateur gala of the season.
Mm-hmm.
$25 at the door for anybody who wants to come in. It starts at 7 o'clock, and doors open at 6. And it's quite the event, though, boys. Like, you know, it's a first-class amateur event. Here, it's you'll honestly feel like you're at a major pro event,
That's
and
awesome.
you don't know who's going to stop by in the crowd. There's always a whole bunch of characters. This is a very special gym. This is a very unique, special gym with a lot of good support.
Well, if
A
you
lot of good people from all over the city.
if you have any press materials, any posters, anything like that, feel free to send it to us. We'll
Yeah.
put it out all over our social media. We'd love to support you guys. Great. Thanks for coming on, Pete. That was
Anytime.
Pete Zergiotis and Otis Grant of Grant's Gym joining us on Hot Sauce Sports. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Petey.
Have a great night, guys.